Greetings, friends. This is Reverend Grant from St. George's. A couple of days ago, I came across a news article in Christianity Today called Confessions of a Loner. It's a wonderful article, and we're including it in the description below, so you can just take a look at it and read it on your own time. The writer in this article, her main focus is reflecting on community, reflecting on her experience of community and how it was formed, and in particular, how she has struggled to experience community post-COVID in our 21st century fast-paced world. And I don't think she's alone in those struggles. As I was reading it, I found myself resonating with some of what she wrote. And I'm the priest of a community. I help form community. And I recognize my own struggles with it. So if I struggle with it, if she struggles with it, I'm pretty sure it's safe to say that many others of us also struggle with how we are part of community and how we build it. And I think this is an opportune time for us to reflect on what community looks like in our life and what our role in community looks like as we enter into a new fall, as we're given an opportunity to set new boundaries, to set new patterns and habits for ourselves as we enter a new program year. And it's left me sitting with, well, what makes community? And I think about the couple funerals that we've had this month in August, and the stories that were shared of those who were vital members of this community. We heard stories of how they were present here regularly, consistently. We heard about how they broke bread and shared meals with one another. They reached out to folks when they were struggling, when someone was in the hospital. They would make a casserole and take it over to someone's house. If they saw a member of the community or even a stranger out in the wider community who was struggling, they would stop, ask what was happening, sit with them, listen, even pray with them. And it's made me think about where I see community alive today here at St. George's. I see it in our Sunday school families that organized a baseball game, just a spontaneous outing to go out and have fun together. How they've come together to share bread, to get babysitters together so they can go out on fun adult date nights or go out for a drink together. It really drove the point home for me that community is something that we don't inherit. It's not something we just sign up to belong to. It is something that we nurture. It is something that we must invest ourselves in. This is something that the early church understood. In fact, it's how we got started. Jesus understood that we were never meant to live life alone. We're meant to live it together in community, not just with our blood family, but our extended family, the human family. And Jesus went about trying to teach us how to do this. He called together followers from very different parts of life, tax collectors, carpenters, fisher people, all over. And Jesus brought them together to break bread, to share life, to debate, to disagree, to fight and bicker a little bit, and to go out into the world, to get outside of themselves, to go and meet people where they're at, to be those listening ears, those open hearts and hands, and say, hey, come and experience the joy, the life that I'm experiencing within this community. In the early church, after Jesus' resurrection, we understood ourselves not just as a community of people, but as a family. That was the level and the commitment to community. We were and are family. And that requires our presence. It requires our time, our dedication. And it requires letting our plans and our schedules being interrupted. It means looking at our life not as something that is interrupted by community, but having solitude interrupting our life within community. There's a distinct difference there. And I think about the loneliness that so many are struggling with. Even those of us who seem to have a lot of people around us, there's a lot of loneliness right now. And I think the way that we combat that ill is by coming together and seeing that our individual role in community is important. That when we show up, that makes an impact on other people. And just not that we're physically present, but that we bring ourselves to that table, that we share our life, that we enable ourselves to be challenged and changed by the people around us and in front of us. It's really recognizing that when we come down to it, we can't be on our own in this world. From the very beginning, God created us to have community. God just didn't create one human, God created two. And just didn't create the two human beings, but God created a whole community of animals and life to be together. And so this fall, as we are given the opportunity to come together, to regather for a new school year, a new program year together, how might we shift how we understand the role of community? What does community look like in your life right now? And what does your role in community look like? And might the Holy Spirit be inviting you to reflect on how that might change over this fall? How it might be inviting you to a deeper engagement, a deeper knowing, a deeper nourishing of this family, the family that we all belong to as children of God. How might bringing each other together and sharing life enable life? Not just for ourselves and our loved ones, but for our extended loved ones, those that we don't even know, but are a part of our community. So I hope you will join me this fall in investing in community, and nurturing community, and being a part of community. For that is where we know God. That is where we meet God in the face of each other. It is where we know life abundantly. And that is where we begin to receive the medicine that removes loneliness from our hearts and fills it with love and joy and abundance.